Hi, my name is Ken Ard, and I'm here to cook Wentelteefjes, and that in translation is turning bitches. I'm going to start with peeling some peaches, and I'm going to peel them over the pan so I collect all the juice. You could also use canned peaches for this. It comes out just about the same. It's a little juicier, but fresh is always best. Here we go. I'm going to add a little sugar to that. Not too much because the peaches should be sweet. I'm going to add a little cinnamon and some note muscat. So we're just going to let that cook down until it starts to bubble. Now I'm going to take my marscapone cheese. I'm going to put a little lemon zest and a little powdered sugar in there. Now you can measure if you want. I use about a half cup or so. Now I'm going to add some lemon zest. This is to taste. I like it really tangy, so I'm going to add the rasp from one lemon. And we're going to add a little powdered sugar to that. Perfect. Okay, now I'm just going to take this and I'm going to stick it in the fridge so it stays fresh while we do our other elements. Now I'm going to take our croissants that are a couple of days old are the best. If you have croissants and you leave them in the package with the package open, they should get nice and crusty. You want to cut the crowns off. So I've cut the crowns off and I'm going to set those aside. Oh, peaches are starting to bubble nicely now. I'm just going to keep stirring that occasionally. I'm just going to add just a little water and just let it cook down. I would like to soak my blackberries in a little Grand Marnier. Gorgeous blackberries. These are really fresh, so we're going to soak them just while we're cooking now. And then right before we serve, we're going to add them to the dish. Our peaches are bubbling really nicely here. Very nice. Now I'm just going to cut my croissant into little slices. Do just a couple of those slices, and then the rest we're going to slice in half, just so I have some crispy garnishes. This part can be a little tedious. You don't have to do it this way, but I find that you get different levels of flavor if you do. So I'm going to take two whole eggs in one bowl, and I'm going to add 2 yolks to that. I'm going to put the egg whites from the other in this bowl. The reason I'm doing this is because I'm going to whip these egg whites in a second. I'm going to put that in the fridge. Okay, I'm going to take these peaches, I'm going to turn them off. I'm just going to set them aside. Now I'm going to add a little sugar to this mixture. I'm going to add a little salt and some cinnamon. I'm going to put some milk in there. Now I'm not measuring, I'm just doing it by eye. And to this, I'm going to use one of my Madagascar vanilla beans. Unless you've had Madagascar vanilla beans, you haven't had a vanilla bean. It's perfect. So I'm just going to put that in my egg mixture. And I'm going to set that aside. Now in this pan, I'm going to put a little butter. I'm going to add a little sugar. Remember I said I was going to use a lot of sugar, so try to be sparingly on all of the different elements. So you don't want to use too much sugar in every element. And with this, I'm going to add a little nutmeg. All right, now I'm going to let this get nice and let that melt. Remember those crowns I cut off earlier? I'm just going to saute these in this melted butter as soon as it melts down. Okay. And let that cook just for a few seconds. I'm going to make sure it's all covered. And what I've done right now is I've just browned the bottom just a little bit. And you can see it's starting to smoke. That's when it's time to take it out. Any more, and you're going to have burnt crowns, and you don't want that. So now I'm just going to add this to the oil. Listen to that crisp up. So that's starting to look like traditional French toast, the way it looks. And then I'm just going to take this out and also put those on the baking sheet as well. And now I'm going to whip my egg whites. Here we go. So now I'm just going to fold this lightly into half of my egg mixture, and the other half I'm going to keep as it is. That's the perfect amount. I'm going to just lightly fold it in, just a little bit at a time. So see, I'm not mixing it too much because I want the air to stay in it. And then this we're going to use for just our last little element. I'm going to stick these in the oven now for a few minutes. And I've had the oven preheating on 150 Celsius. Don't leave them in too long because you don't want them hard. You want them to be like little light pillows. Here's my little butter sugar element. I'm going to just leave that in there. Remember what we did was we crisped up our crowns in the, that are sitting in the oven in this butter and sugar with a little nutmeg. And now I'm going to add a little more butter to that. There we go. I'm going to stick this in the fridge really quickly. It's the egg white mixture. Now I'm going to dip my croissants in this mixture here. Now the top, as you see, is not going to allow any of the mixture in, so I'm going to start with the top just to get it nice and moist. And then I'm going to turn it over, and you don't want to let it soak for too long or else it's going to be really soggy. Keep a watchful eye because this will burn really fast, so you just want it to get browned. Okay. Alrighty, I'm going to take these crowns out of the oven. As you can see, these are nice and crispy now, and as you leave them out, as they start to cool off, it's going to become a little more crispy. I'm going to take my egg white mixture. I'm going to put these babies in. Just going to dip them. And this is our element that doesn't really have sugar in it, but it's going to have sugar on it. So I'm going from the egg white mixture to the powdered sugar, just lightly covering it. You don't want it to be caked on, but just roll it around in the powdered sugar. And I'm going to stick these back in the oven. Great. I'm going to stick this back in the fridge. It's nice to have that cool and warm element. Now I'm going to add just that water, like I said, to the peaches. Let me get it back going. This is just going to create a nice little jus, or as we say in America, syrup or gravy. That's perfect. This is crunchy, and this is going to be flavor. Okay, when the peaches start to bubbling, then you're ready to start plating up. We have our plate here, and we're going to add to the plate Pudersuiker. We're going to add one of these babies. We're going to add some of our marscapone cheese. So here we go. Now, we're going to add one of our elements here. We're not going to put it in or on because that's our crispy element. A little more mascarpone cheese. So we glue it together. And we glue it. Some of our garnishes just around the plate. I'm going to put one of my crowns on top. And now here comes the fun part for all you pyrotechnic people out there. Just put a little flame to it. That's one. And that's going to draw out the juices in it as well. Now we're going to add our peach stroop, which is basically just stewed peaches here. A little more powdered sugar over the top. And there you have it. Ken's grandma's French toast.